Good morning, class 7. I hope you guys are doing well and in good health and full of energy and taking care of yourself, being safe, happy, and being at home so that you are fighting against this corona COVID 19 pandemic. So, sorry. So, it's going to be great, and you are listening to your parents, respecting them as well. So today we are going to be at English again. That I have a dream, okay, and it's about Martin Luther King Jr. We were talking about that he is born to. He was a activist, civil rights activist, and he was fighting against the racial segregation to the African Americans, which was faced by them. And he delivered a speech on Washington DC on the 28th of August 1963, and we were reading a part of that speech. And I will start it again. And from where we left, it was on that comeback marked insufficient funds. We had done this on the 27th. So I'm going to read it again, and so that we get to know where we left it. So we have a link in between that. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, each score is of 20 years, 50 is 100 years. A great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to the million Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself an exile in his own land. And so we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall higher. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as its citizens of colors are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. I had explained this to you earlier. He's constantly saying everything is okay, everything has happened. The treaty, the Emancipation Proclamation for stopping slaves, yes, it was there, not to discriminate, no prejudice, even as well as for the black and whites, but the blacks are still remained the same. We have come to say this, the promissory note in the Constitution, the magnificent words that was made in the Constitution, that everyone has the liberty to life and freedom. That is not being promised only for the whites, not for us black Americans. That I am still in exile in my own country. I am not free. But we refuse to believe that the bank of justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in a great waltz of opportunity of this nation. And so we have come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom, security of justice. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency now. This is no longer to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksand of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make a justice a reality for all God's children. We have come, we have been given a blank check, a bad check. It says there is no funds, there is no freedom for you, there is no racial, there is nothing for you. But we don't believe in this huge bank of justice that there is insufficient funds. A check that will give us riches of freedom and the security of justice, that we will also get justice of our this condition. We have also come to this holy spot to remind America it's a very religious holy thing to tell America of this urgency. It's urgent now that we should get this. This is no time to engage in luxury cooling off or to take a tranquilizing drug of gradualism, that it's going to gradually happen with the time. No, it's not time to cool up. Don't rest. Things are going to get unrested. Now is the time to make the real promises that you made of democracy. This is the time from the dark and desolate, from the dark and the sad, hopeless people, those who are still waiting for hope. The valley of segregation which is happening. Huge, can you imagine? Valley means a lot of people. Valley, how many people can come into? He is explaining it with nature. Valley of segregation, the separated people to the sunlit part of racial justice. Just because I am black, you are separating me, you are making a segregation. No, this has come, the time has come for real justice. The sun path. We are in the dark now, we have to come out in the light. Everyone is the same. It is the time to lift up our nation from the quicksand of racial justice. That quicksand is pulling you down. We are getting buried into it to become a hard, solid rock of brotherhood. Everyone will become strong together. Everyone will be the same. Love each other. Now is the time to make justice a reality. It has to become reality now. To all the God's children. Everyone are God's children. So why black and white? It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment, the sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate Discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. Invigorating is healthy. Everything has to be right. Sweltering, this hotness, it's becoming hot in here now. We are suffering from the heat of racial segregation, not getting justice for our freedom. We are being separated from the society. We want to be equal. Our equality has to come to us, the freedom and equality. Autumn of freedom, the season has to change. The autumn is going to come. Forget what has happened in the past. A new season is coming in. Bring this back. 1963 is not an end. That August 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. And those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening in the nation returns to business as usual. And there will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. But there is something I must say to my people. I'll come back in the next video.